hell is that traumatizing to me? Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And what pissed me off last week is Canada's crazy new, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like the craziest new bill I've ever heard of. Big Ed from the 98-Day Fiance is even more of an asshole than we already know. Jeffrey Marsh doesn't understand merchandising. And how the bloody hell do you get around YouTube copyright strikes? Like, I don't understand how to make my content transformative so Dr. Phil doesn't get mad. But I digress. Trudeau wants to introduce some kind of bill that monitors hate speech. And I'm using that in the various loosest terms here. And I'll be passing this off actually to Brad Palumbo because I feel like he can best explain it within me just giving my own 2 cents in as a Canadian, because I find him to be very, very well explainable. I don't think that's a word, but yeah. And if you're wondering what I am going to be rubbing into my back and my arms, it is Clarins After Sun Lotion. I went outside and forgot to put sunscreen on a overcast day. Remember guys, you can get burned on an overcast day. Get sunscreen.
Most disturbing and dystopian pieces of legislation I've frankly ever encountered covering politics is advancing towards becoming law. The Liberal government recently put forward something called the Online Harms Act, legislation which has well-intentioned goals of cracking down on unlawful online behavior and reining in hate, but would institute a dystopian censorship regime. As the Wall Street Journal reports, the Online Harms Act would introduce not one but 3 new bureaucracies: a Digital Safety Commission of Canada to, quote, ensure that operators of social media services are transparent and accountable and contribute to the development of standards with respect to online safety, and a Digital Safety Ombudsperson of Canada to provide support to users and advocate for the public interest in relation to online safety, and a Digital Safety Office of Canada, which would support the Commission and the Ombudsperson in the fulfillment of their mandate. Now you might be wondering how these bureaucracies would function, and this is where things get creepy. The legislation would give anyone the ability to file complaint with the government alleging online hate speech. The Commission would have the power to levy fines of up to $20,000 in Canadian, which is around $15,000 US, payable to the complainant, not
Wait, okay, so I thought it was originally $10,000 US and 20,000, and $15 Canadian, not $20,000 Canadian. And this is the part that pisses me off. I'm sorry I cut off Brad while he was in the middle of speaking and would have said so, is if I pissed off somebody with my content, I wouldn't be giving the government $20,000 of my money. I would be giving the person who made the effing complaint the $20,000. I would far rather give it to the government so they could waste it on whatever than give it to some person who is making some kind of complaint that, may or may not be, true, or, start infringing on some kind of free speech. I don't even know if we have free speech anymore in Canada. It doesn't feel like we have free speech. I know we always act like we have free speech, but I'm not sure if we ever did have free speech. I know the Americans do. Canadians, not so sure. Starting to get really worried. Especially when it's dragged in by a prime minister who, let's just say, has made some questionable choices and should be the first one to put up his wallet. Remember when you decided to do dark face in an Arabian costume? And then that came up and everyone was pissed about that? Yet Trudeau, you should pay every single person that got pissed about that $20,000 of your own money, not the government's money. Yeah. I think Trudeau should put his money where his mouth is, frankly. But the only time Trudeau seems to have ever done that is legalizing cannabis.
The Treasury. So the person making the complaint would get the money. That would open the door to this massive influx of complaints, Michael Geist, a University of Ottawa legal scholar, told Toronto's Globe and Mail. And the standard of proof would be the balance of probabilities, not guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So they would only have to be 51% sure that you actually did the thing you're being accused of to hit you with thousands of dollars of fines. That would then go to the person making the complaint. What could possibly go wrong? The bill would subject non-compliant social media companies to draconian fines, up to 6% of global gross revenue. It would establish a new speech crime of advocating genocide, which could lead to life imprisonment. Here's more reporting on that from the CBC.
So, Rafi, this bill also proposes some criminal code changes.
The government wants to increase sentences for online incitement of hatred, specifically for promotion or incitement to genocide. That would mean a maximum sentence that goes up to life imprisonment from the current 5 years.
So this is the most disturbing part of the whole thing for me. You could literally get a life sentence in jail for words that come out of your mouth, but no actual actions. And at first glance it might sound reasonable, right? Because genocide is obviously evil and advocating for it isn't good, but it's not actually simple to draw a line of what qualifies as advocating for genocide and what doesn't. Look no further than the ongoing Palestine-Israel conflict and the passionate debate about it, where both sides think the other is effectively advocating for genocide. The pro-Palestinian people think the Israeli military is conducting a genocide, which the Israeli supporters vehemently disagree with and dispute, and they argue that Hamas, which some people support, is actually genocidal, and that if you're defending Hamas, you are advocating for genocide. You see how this isn't a clear-cut thing? Oh, and what about the people who say that disagreeing with trans activism is advocating for trans genocide? Or what if defending the existence of the United States, despite colonialism, is viewed as defending or advocating for the genocide of Native and Indigenous people? It's a total Pandora's box that would...
I think we could thank Brad for that. Thank you, Brad Palumbo. Let me figure out where my mouse is. And I actually brought this whole thing up with my fiance, and he's like, this tolerant society will kill us all. This ultra tolerant society. This is a guy who is a Soviet Russian, still considers himself a communist, and that is what he said. And he is like me. He doesn't consider most of these people on the woke left, real communists. Because they have... You got that one guy complaining, oh, I'm a streamer, life's so hard. Oh my god. Like, you are a weak, pathetic little bastard who can't put a day's work in. But yeah, no. And this is the guy, like I said, Trudeau wants to put this in. He is not the best person to, start pointing the fingers as to, hate speech and things like that. Because I could see how, with the blackface, that could have been considered as hate speech. This is just... Trudeau was a nut. And I regret voting him in, but, the other choice was that guy from the NDP, or what's his face? Harper. And Harper was frickin' crazy. Alright, now let's talk about Big Ed. We all probably know about Big Ed, the man who looks like some kind of egg-shaped. I never understood that, but I believe he has some kind of genetic condition that makes him that way. Anyways, we've watched him ruin it with that nice Filipino girl. I cannot remember her name, for the love of God. Now he's ruined it with Liz. And apparently, now he wants a nice, conservative, Christian girl. And we are going to watch this with me interjecting from here and then, so we don't have a copyright claim from Entertainment Tonight.
Right.
Trotters, what do you want? Yes, you're a cat. I love you. And Trotsky's here to join in on the insanity. Isn't that right, buddy?
First people say when they see me, they're like, what in the hell are you doing in Arkansas? I'm like, I went to high school here.
Yeah.
I grew up.
It's home.
Yeah, it's home. And I got my real estate license.
Right.
I'm selling homes. I'm having a lot of fun. I want a Southern charm. I want a conservative, conservative Christian woman is who I'm looking for.
All right.
And right now, I'm meeting a lot of fantastic women that are more.
So let's just say he wants to join in on the whole trad wife thing. At least that's what it sounds like. He wants somebody that's more Arkansas-y and less, LA like Liz. Gotta get more of this lotion. Puts the lotion on the skin and it doesn't get the burn so bad. But it's funny because this man, I don't think deserves anybody by the way how he's treated his last few, engagements. If anything, the next person should come around and just use Ed for the publicity of being on the show. That's it. And then dump Ed, frankly. He just needs to have his ass dumped 600 times and then to hell with him.
More of my age that work in my same industry, and
Wow.
nothing serious. There's one I have, I really like. We have lunch every week. We hang out quite a bit.
Wow.
She actually introduced me to a charity that I'm now involved in, and believe it or not, I have to wear a long sleeve shirt, but I'm back at church, so.
I have a random thought. Do you think he met this person before breaking it off with Liz? At least that's just my thought. Did he meet this person before breaking it off with Liz? And then that's why he basically was a pussy when he broke up with Liz. I'll be honest, I don't really watch the whole show. I just like the highlights. It's easier just to have somebody, condense down the whole thing to just the best parts. This is what they did. This is what they did. Here, we compressed 45 minutes into half an hour to 10, 15 minutes. Here's the best bits. That's thank you, people who do that here on YouTube. You save me from rotting my brain cells watching the whole episodes.
I'm also lecturing at my local church. I'm an usher, and it's really fun. So
Wow. This is a new Ed we're
this
seeing
is a new
here.
Ed, yeah, and-
What sparked this? Was it the breakup?
It's not like I want somebody else. It's not what it is. I want to be single, work on my career, and
I still call bullshit. I call bullshit. There's something about this guy that makes me just want to say bullshit.
then you'll find someone. You're going to be the best version of yourself, and it's not going to be with me.
Here's what it was. It was a lot of things, but one, it was me having to look at how I've behaved, how I've treated women and how I've spoke to women, and I'm not proud of that. And the way I behaved, and I've been through therapy. I've been in therapy for over 2 years, and my therapist said, look, your behavior doesn't have to define who you are, but you can also change it. So I'm really working toward that of just, being a better version of who I am. I've also lost 19 pounds.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
you're looking better.
And I feel better. I really feel better. So mentally, spiritually, physically, I think if I just stay on.
Yeah, how about you just focus on yourself? Only yourself. Because that seems to be the best thing. I don't even want to listen to the rest of this chapter. What's going on here? The public perception of Big Ed. It's probably going to be me with a lot of other people saying the exact same thing. I mean, I feel like TLC could have edited this and not shown the whole thing, but I feel he could have been much more honest with Liz and not drag her all the way over to Arkansas.
Bye.
Do you not get a lot of attention? Because
I get a lot of it.
the way it comes off, it seems like
Well, you're making a
don't.
negative observation.
We're not going to let you off the hook just yet, though. Public perception of you has been something else. And not always positive, mostly negative. Do you agree with the public perception that's been perceived of you?
Some of it I do. So the thing I learned in therapy was this, is that, in fact, day one in therapy, she's like, look, there are two people sitting in front of me. There is Big Ed, the character that you created, and people they love this guy. They send him marriage proposals. They're usually over 85. They drop off alcohol in my house. It's crazy. And then there are people that hate this guy, that say the most horrible things that you could ever imagine. And then there's the Ed, the human. And the people that know me and I'm being a jerk, they're gonna pick up the phone and they're gonna stop being a jerk. And the people that love me, love this guy. So for me, I've had to separate that. I agree with the way.
Oh, God!
I've done some silly.
Fuck, no, oh God, oh God, blind me, oh, I want to put acetone in my eyes. Oh my god, fuck. I'm not gonna entertain this anymore. I don't want to see. That was not something I wanted to see. Oh dear lord. Not enough pixelization can fix that. Oh god, that was just horrible. Oh, I know I shouldn't body shame people, but fuck. I didn't want to see that. There should have been a trigger warning. Fat fuck alert. Oh my god. Oh no. I did not want to see that. I kind of want to throw up. I know, I'm terrible. How the hell is that traumatizing to me? And now, on to Jeffrey Marsh and his issue with Pride clothings not being in certain Target stores. I mean, I could just... for the love of kittens.
Let's talk about Target. It's a really unfortunate decision they made to take the Pride merch out of certain stores, out of red state stores. They keep saying, oh, it's based on sale.
Okay. So we're going to react to this video Jeffrey Marsh posted on TikTok. So you guys are going to probably want to punch me for even showing you this video. However, I would like to shout out the user, Mighty Mike. Let me just switch over. Mighty Mike, I salute you. I think that is hilarious. It puts the lotion on its skin. It doesn't get the husk. Maybe it's because I just put lotion on my skin. But yes, I get the exact same kind of creepy Ed Gainley vibes. I don't know why with Jeffrey Marsh. He's going to peel off our skin, turn into a skin suit, and wear it. Okay, I'll stop that. Is that why you're trying to get to the children? You're trying to get them to get their moms to you so you can turn them into skin suits and Ed Gain? Sorry. Being off the cuff here again. Slightly crazy lady. I mean, we all know I'm crazy.
Let's talk about Target. It's a really unfortunate decision they made to take the Pride merch out of certain stores, out of red state stores. They keep saying, oh, it's based on sales, but we know which stores will not have Pride merchandise. And trust me, I know a little something about dealing with the right wing in America and dealing with being swept up into drama and targeting and all of that stuff. I don't know about that on a corporate scale, but I know about it as an influencer. All I will say is giving in to the demands of a very, very far-right small minority is in itself a political statement.
Let's flip this. Giving into a small left wing minority is also making a political statement. I mean, it can go both ways, right and left. Frankly, I think the Americans need another system. You know, this two-party system makes no sense to me. You guys need to change it up after, 300 years? You guys can do it. You guys can change it up. Put in a government that's not the Democrats or the Republicans. That I'd like to see. But, again, catering to a small minority group, the LGBTQFY utter doodle password, is also, again, making a political statement. And wouldn't it be better for Target, and any store, really, to identify the areas where the product will have the most sales? Hear me out. Without it having to go on clearance. No store wants to have a whole bunch of Pride clearance stuff. And let's just talk about Pride merch on another level for just a quick moment here. you realize the companies are just basically using your political identity to get more money out of you. This is why I have a hard time with a lot of these, LGBTQ ultra left wing communists. The communists I always say aren't true communists, spoken as a true Trotskyist, I know. Because they're spending money into corporations who are using their identity just to get more money from them. Do you see where I mean? It's not like, you're buying a foundation to match your skin tone for the most part. They're using your political identity against you. They put out all this mass producement of stuff to buy. Target, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart. I've seen it in a few places. And what's going to happen to a good chunk of that stuff in a year, 2 years, 5 years from now? It probably might be in the landfills. What does that do? Congratulations. The ones of you who are always talking about taking care of the earth and, reducing waste, you fucked us just because you wanted stuff to match your political identity, which might change like gender seasons. Don't get me started on gender seasons. Boris, you're being annoying.
Political statement. Okay, change of venue.
I'm sorry, I just paused again. Who is key to decide what is a wrong political statement for somebody? I'm sorry. Jeffrey Marsh, you need to get off your fucking high horse and not lord over that you have some kind of better, higher, mightier than thou thing. We all shit and it all smells the same. And you do not get to tell people, what is the right ideology and what is the wrong ideology. You know who also goes around saying that kind of stuff? Radical Christians, radical Muslims, radical LGBT. Oh, wait, that's what you are. And by the way, I am bi, if anyone is wondering. So yes, I am part of the LGBTQ.
I gotta add something. Target could have used their corporate power to end the bullying, to try to end the bullying. So this may be something psychological, and you can talk about me in the comments, debate around it. I get most upset when far-right influencers target non-activists. Just a librarian, a teacher, a pastor just gets this dump truck of hatred and threats of violence and all that sort of stuff, and they're just trying to be a good person. It angers me, to be honest. Target could have stepped into that dynamic.
Maybe I should have left him finished.
And used their money, influence, brand ubiquity, their corporate might to say, you know what? We're gonna carry this Pride merch in every store. We know that LGBTQ people live all over the country, and we stand with them. A really missed opportunity.
But this has to do with money. And if they're going to have a backlash like last year in red states, but you can still buy the product online. So it's not like they're not selling them in red states. You can still buy it in red states. They're just not selling them in store. I mean, everyone basically shops online nowadays. I mean, and here's the thing. Target is a corporation. How many corporations could use their power, their money, their leverage in, I don't know, countries that the LGBT really have issues in? Those Arabic countries that when at the same time every year, you don't see them changing their branch logos into a rainbow flag, but only the North Americans and Europeans. Can you guys just see that the companies are just pandering to you? Do you want companies to pander to your identity? Or do you want to be taken seriously?
Okay, one more thing. If you're on the board of Target, I empathize with you. I sympathize. It's probably not been a good couple of years. And if you don't stand up to the bullying, those folks who can't stand up are in a worse position.
I mean, first off, he's one of the most privileged people in the world. And that's just being for the fact that he's born in a country like the United States. Right? He isn't being threatened to being thrown off a building, and he's saying that there is bullying. I'm not bullying, I'm calling out your bullshit. And more people need to call out bullshit. We have pandered to these people for too long, and that's just the thing. We gotta stop pandering. We cannot always keep pandering to these people. I am done with the pandering. If it's not pandering to the Rainbow Mafia, it's pandering to women and having worse female characters. I am done with the bloody pandering. Give me a strong female character like Xena or, Starbuck. Yeah, I'm talking about Kara Thrace in the remake of Battlestar Galactica. And here's the thing. Back then, most of the female actors, the characters who got switched over, they had a lot of backlash to the actresses who didn't make those decisions. But they were much better characters than the remakes of female characters of today. I'm looking at you, Ghostbusters. So, yeah. I mean, there was actually some depth, and it worked out in the new concept of Battlestar Galactica. Every single one of these strong female characters. Oh, Captain Janeway, she was a strong female character. She got the Star Trek Voyager back from the Delta Quadrant to the Alpha Quadrant. 7 of 9, B'Elanna. Ivanova from Battlestar... No, that's Babylon 5. Come on. These are well-written, strong female characters, and we don't get that anymore. I'm sorry, I just went on a huge tangent about female characters. But, again, enough with the pandering to everybody. I mean, not every place in the world is going to carry what you need. Here's another great example. I live in Canada, right? I work in cosmetics and home merchandising, stuff for your house. Not every shade of CoverGirl or Revlon is available here. It's not because the companies are racist. It's because there is a shelf life to these products. And if there's maybe 2 black people in the city, maybe there are a few more, I'm just, trying to make some kind of thing, but a small minority, and those products don't sell as fast as the lighter skin tones of the majority, they're going to, change the planogram a bit to match more of the area and try to limit loss. That's pretty much how merchandising works. It's got nothing to do about your feels. It's got to do about market research and what's actually going to do. It's not like the company is taking out an entire shade range. Now, if the company was taking out an entire shade range and you could no longer buy it whatsoever, even online, then that might be considered a political statement, unless they were reformulating that shade range. I'm going to give companies the benefit of the doubt for reformulating. My last little bit of a rant. Someone, could you give me some tips on how do you guys do the Dr. Phil reactions? I keep trying to do it, and I keep getting a thing saying this is copyright, and I'm like, ugh. And yeah, if anyone knows, that would be great. Drop it in the comments below. If you have anything to say about anything else I went on a rant about, drop it in below. Also, this Friday, my video essay is not going to be coming out. My company that I work for, we got bought out by a bigger merchandising company, and they put a bunch more work hours on me because of this week, and because of that, yay, more money, but I don't have time to properly edit the way I want this to go. So I'd rather push it back a week. I will be live for a couple of hours on Saturday around noon, Pacific time, I'm going to be working on some nail designs, just practice. I wanted to redo my nails, but I had nuts and went ahead and did my nails. I do these myself with an LED lamp. So, yeah. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Also, this Friday, my video essay is not going to be coming out. My company that I work for, we got bought out by a bigger merchandising company, and they put a bunch more work hours on me because of this week, and because of that, yay, more money, but I don't have time to properly edit the way I want this to go. So I'd rather push it back a week. I will be live for a couple of hours on Saturday around noon Pacific time. I'm going to be working on some nail designs, just practice. I wanted to redo my nails, but I had nuts and went ahead and did my nails. I do these myself with an LED lamp. So, yeah. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.